Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 10 of Let's Play Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition on the PC. In the last episode we went down to the Anor Londo ruins, we unflooded the area, as well as we got ourselves a Titanite slab, and we have began upgrading our sword to its maximum state. Between the last episode and this episode, I went ahead and got exactly 3 Titanite chunks, which will allow me to fully upgrade my sword right now. So we can go ahead and go to reinforced weapon, upgrade to level 14, and now we can use the Titanite slab to upgrade it to level 15. We have now succeeded in upgrading our sword to a usable level, a level of which will make it a lot easier for us to play the game. So we're going to go straight to Anor Londo right now. And actually, before we actually go to Anor Londo, I would like to talk to the Sorcerer guy now that our sorcery level is level 15. He should be able to sell some stuff. I want to see what he has.
Oh, hello. I regret meeting you under such compromising circumstances. At least we both made it back unscathed. Incidentally, would you care to learn any sorceries? You're clearly talented, and besides, I owe you. Of course, we will require some materials, but I'm happy to teach you some elementary spells. Are you interested? Splendid. Very well. I am pleased to have a chance to give something back. Well then, let's get started straight away.
So now we can go ahead and start purchasing some items from him. You can buy the Sorcerer's Catalyst, as well as buy Soul Arrow, Heavy Soul Arrow, Great Soul Arrow, Fall Control, which I guess it probably does what it means. The Sorcerer, along with Huss, explains the extravagant cost of hiring Vinheim spooks. Great Heavy Soul Arrow. A magic weapon, which only costs 10 sorcery, so if we just want normal magic weapon, we can get that. But we're going to get great magic weapon for free in a moment here. We also have magic shield. So we can basically use everything here except for Great Soul Arrow. Very cool.
Goodbye then. Do stay...
Unfortunately, though, I don't think I have anything to cast spells with. Let me see here. Now, to cast spells, you need a Sorcerer's Catalyst, and luckily we do have a Sorcerer's Catalyst. I think we got it for free, so that is pretty good. Well, of course we got it for free. I think we got it in the same room we found that Sorcerer there. However, we're not going to be using Soul Arrow. I'm not much of a spellcaster myself, but if we can use anything to make it so our weapon is more powerful, I feel that the 6 points that we spent on sorcery is probably going to be pretty helpful for us to be awesome. You may also notice that I'm human now. I felt like becoming human would be a good idea, considering we were human when we got to Anor Londo, so might as well be human when we come back. So it's going to be basically a straight run back into Anor Londo. However, I will grab the bonfire that's right in this building here, this little church. And that's just in case we die. Because I don't want to run all the way back from Firelink if I can save myself any time on the way back here. But I will show you guys the way back using the shortcut this time, since I haven't showed you. I've only showed you the way back here using the shortcut. Now, by the way, I did lose 22,000 souls. But that was all farming souls, so I didn't feel like I was parting with anything I lost, so I'm not too worried about it. However, I just want to mess with these guys real quick. Now, our new sword should be extremely good in helping us be amazing at video games, as opposed to not being amazing at video games. Like doing 398 damage with a backstab, which allows us to deal with these guys quite easily. So we will now head up the stairs and make our way out. All we have to do is now grab this little thing right here. I think all we have to do is just make a left turn, and we should be okay. And whoopsie daisies. I'll just heal. Probably is the safest thing to do. So now we have this shortcut back up here again, and the other one has gone down. So now we can just use the shortcut either way if we die at either spot. And did I describe the bonfire there, or did I completely forget? Probably forgot. In my events of talking, you guys are probably like, hey, you didn't grab the bonfire. Well, oopsie daisies. I guess we're just going to have to be extra careful. And extra careful is sometimes my forte. However, you will find the plus 15 longsword to be amazing. It's honestly one of my favorite weapons in the game. I use it probably throughout the entire game, the plus 15 longsword. So, we'll probably use it for the remainder of the title. But here we are, back in Anor Londo. Gotta love that shot. That probably is the coolest shot I've ever seen in Dark Souls. Showing off the entire area that is Anor Londo. And again, we can evade these giant statues, which are really not even a problem. And we can continue the story of Anor Londo from where we left off. And from where we left off, we haven't even talked to anyone yet, so it's extremely important to note that this is the first run-through of Anor Londo on this character, and on this Let's Play. So let's go talk to the Firekeeper.
Well, you are a rare visitor. Welcome to the lost city of Anor Londo, chosen undead. If you seek Lord Gwyn's old keep, exit here, and head straight yonder. If you are the chosen one, a revelation shall visit thee. What follows thereafter depends upon you.
Interesting. She can also reinforce her Estus Flask. Excuse me. She can also reinforce her Estus Flask, but we do not have a Firekeeper soul. However, we can continue talking to her.
What is it? What am I? Well, I am the keeper of the bonfire. If not for me, what beacon would there be in this lost city? A gatekeeper and a guide. That is my calling.
Which means that if she were to die, the bonfire would go out, which would be bad.
The bonfires attended by the keepers are special. They are linked to one another, and their flames never die. Yet never shall the keepers of these flames meet.
Interesting. So Firekeepers are not supposed to meet each other. And I'm just grabbing this thing again just in case I forgot to, because sometimes I forget. So we're going to trade off our covetous gold serpent ring for the wolf ring there, as you can see. Increases our poise, which will make our lives a little bit easier. If we go left there, we can go towards the library. Unfortunately, the library is not open to me right now, so we are not going to worry about that. But welcome to Anor Londo, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get rolling. Let's get doing this. This is going to be quite fun. At least I think so. So we are going to run into a few bosses that we've fought before, and you'll immediately notice them right about now. Gargoyles! Well, let's not worry about the gargoyle. Let's just go around. I feel like this is the right way to go, so we'll go this way. Now sometimes I have fallen off this thing because I wasn't paying attention to the screen, so you just have to be generally careful. Being introduced to a new assassin-type enemy. They're one-shotted with a two-handed hit. You can parry them even with that jumping attack and do about 600 damage. It's pretty good. Now keep in mind that the damage has changed because it scales with dexterity and it scales with strength. And they're both even, so you can just go either way. If you want to go dexterity, you can go dexterity. If you want to go strength, you can go strength. Preferably dexterity if you want to switch over into other dex style weapons and do more damage with those, such as the Iaito or the Uchi-Katana. But these guys are pretty easy to take out. Note that in order to get that great weapon thingy I was talking about, we need to cut this cable here. And we'll most likely be grabbing that a little bit later in time. We can go grab that right now if we wanted to. If we can't hop off here. If we hop off here, we will die a horrible death and our lives will be over. So we need to actually go down. And I'll show you how to do that. There's actually an elevator that we can take. By the way, if that throwing knife... Oh boy. If that throwing knife hits our shield, it Doesn't do any stamina damage, which is good for us. So keep that in mind. I'm going to set this game up back into 30 frames per second because there's a few ladders in this area. Alright, so here is the elevator I was talking about, and this is gonna be a frequent use. We can use this elevator in a lot of scenarios, but of course there will be a gargoyle down below. If we so use this, then we need to use it anyway. So to know which way to push it, all I have to do is look at the stairs and simply push it forward. To the right, I mean. And you'll get a little cutscene showing you that this is in fact turning. You only get the cutscene once, which is nice, because if you had to see the cutscene over and over again, it probably wouldn't be very fun. However, now we have to deal with a gargoyle, which is right over here. But we could probably kill this gargoyle without having to worry about it ever again, because... unless we get killed by it. Because once the gargoyles are dead, they are dead for good. Let me just drink this up. I will be honest with you though, I'm really bad at killing these gargoyles over the other ones, because these ones seem to have new moves. Hide behind this pillar here. See if I can get some time. And 3. Yeah, I'm kind of being a little bit sloppy with these fights, but that is how I do it. That's how I do it. And now that gargoyle is dead for good, now I'm gonna go clear out this gargoyle as well. And the reason for it is because gargoyles, once they are dealt with, they are dealt with, and you don't have to worry about them again. But I was just showing you guys so you can get around them, and look at that, 3 in 1. The gargoyle's halberd, shield, and helm. A lot of people like the helmet, actually. They say it looks pretty cool. Although I'm not really a heavy armor kind of guy, even though I will say that the Elite Knight armor looks very good and very stylish. And it is armor that I like to use in certain boss fights that require me to use heavier armor, as opposed to running around a lot. However, now we have to go up this way, and this is probably a lot of people's least favorite area to go through because there's 2 giants here. And the best way to get around these giants is to run through them. I don't know why people don't just realize that you can just run past them. A lot of people I watch on Twitch.tv just decide that it's better to kill them. It truly isn't. It makes for a waste of time. You can get past these gargoyles, they'll kill themselves over time. Make a left turn. Do some dodge rolling if you need to. Do a little bit of zigzags, so their spear thing can't get you. And then simply heal up. And these guys are going to be so stupid that they're going to kill themselves. You may be noticing that on the bottom left screen. I've been getting experience points like just now because they're killing themselves. However, now we have to deal with the archers here, and you can use poison arrows to take them out if you want to. But we don't have any poison arrows on us because I didn't get them before we got to Anor Londo, which is okay, but whatever. Yes, you can peek out the side and go deal with them. However, we're not going to do that. We're just going to run right on past. Make a quick right turn here. And fall off the side, because I hate that they don't switch over to their weapon instantly. I should not have done that. Alright, I'm going to pause the video here, and we're going to run right back to the place that we just were. Actually, let me just show you real quick. Now this elevator that'll come up here will take us down to the one that we just turned, so we have a quick route back. So now we don't need to run that same way we did, and the gargoyles are now dead. So we won't need to worry about the gargoyles anymore. So grab this elevator. Now the elevators are automatic, and a lot of the times they just stay on the bottom. I think they actually go up and down constantly, like they don't stop, which is a little interesting. Anyway, let me just show you guys as proof of concept that there, we can actually just go that way now. As before we had to go this way and up and across and whatnot, so yep. I'm gonna pause the video, and actually, I guess since we're already here, it doesn't really matter. So you guys will have to endure this with me. Also note that we're undead now. Ew, undead. Well, we were doing well until the arrow hit our shield and knocked us off the side. That's why a lot of people really hate the archers there. They have a very powerful arrow attack. So the Silver Knights are really annoying in this area. They're not Black Knights, but they are designed exactly the same as Black Knights. However, Silver Knights are the only knights in the game. Only knights in the game that actually use bows, which makes them really, 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 really annoying. Hop over. Oh, I didn't even get a chance to hop over that. And I'm gonna take a lot of damage. Drink up. Let those guys kill themselves. And now we can make a left turn here. I need to set up my buttons a little bit better. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, damn. Alright, try again. Okay, we are now back. And we are now heading back up the stairs. We're going to give this third try. A third chance, I guess you could say. Didn't make the roll there because I put down my shield and the character decided to jump. Well, it wasn't really my character's fault. It was my fault for putting down my shield. However, we can make the jump here. And hopefully not die. This is probably the worst part of Anor Londo. I say this is clearly the worst part. It's worse than Smough. Let's be honest here. It's worse than Smough and Ornstein. Way worse. However, it's not the end of the world, so let's not worry about too much. We'll just have, because we got here already, and all we have to do is just wait on those guys to kill themselves. I'm gonna wait for them to stop firing, because the moment they stop firing, then you can just get a move on. There you go. So they stop firing. You can make a left turn here. Make it all the way up here. Alright. There we go. Finally. Alright. That guy's dealt with. That's what I was waiting for him to do. I needed him to pull out his sword so I could do that. But I was hiding in the corner, which I should have done the first time we got there. But I wasn't paying attention to my area. I was more trying just to get him to switch out his weapon. But I guess he just didn't feel like doing that. However, this is a bonfire area to the left. And we have Knight Solaire.
Oh, there you are. You've been quiet these days. Smooth summoning out there? Anytime you see my brilliantly shining signature, do not hesitate to call upon me. You've left me with quite an impression. I would relish a chance to assist you.
Indeed, indeed, Solaire.
You really are fond of chatting with me, aren't you? If I didn't know better, I'd think you had feelings for me. Oh, dear me, pretend you didn't hear that.
He's pretty funny if you're a guy in the game as well, where he's making fun of you. It's more like he's making fun of you when you're a guy, as opposed to playing as a female character. Kind of one of the funny things that FromSoft likes to do. However, we're going to become human, because I think we probably could make it through the rest of this area without dying, except for Smough and Ornstein. However, I really wish we had some poison arrows to deal with a different part of this game. Or near the end of where we are going. But, however, I digress. Now, we don't have the right of kindling. However, this is a pretty important bonfire. It links to everything, so I'm going to upgrade it to +2. So we're going to kindle it once. So we don't have the right of kindling, and if you don't know what that is, it allows you to kindle it up to a 20 Estus flask. Or +4, if you will, for the bonfire. Which is pretty neat. Alright, so now we can just start exploring some of the rooms here. There's a halberd guy here. I generally don't have too much fun with halberds in parrying, so I decide not to. However, A plus 15 longsword makes mincemeat out of them. Grab some more sunlight metals. An interesting thing about sunlight metals is that you can only really trade one of them for something else. So the game gives you so many of them, I don't really know why. Maybe it's just to make you feel special. Or to troll you. Let's try and get him this time. Wow, okay, so he still hit me. It must have been a partial parry, but oh well. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, the whole goal about this game is just to not get angry at it, because things will happen. This is a hidden wall. Things will happen that'll break your heart. You may lose 100,000 souls, like my friend Silver Dragon. He lost 100,000 souls, so he stopped playing the game for him that time. I don't know if he's come back to the game yet. But anyway, the whole goal of playing Dark Souls is to survive it. And if you die, you know what? If you're still playing, that means you're surviving the game. So that's why I say this is how you play the game. So we already died twice in Anor Londo, but that's not the end of the world. By the way, Dragon Tooth. I'm pretty sure that is the weapon that Havel was using. Am I right? It is the weapon he was using. Oh my god. Man, this weapon is just terrifying, by the way. It's very, very terrifying. 209 damage per hit, but its durability is 999. There's some interesting weapons like that have 999. However, this is a mimic here. Remember that you can tell what a mimic is if you look at the chain. Except for in the DLC area, there is one mimic that is a little bit hidden. And here is the Occult Club, and I'm pretty sure this is actually a lore club, as people call it, but I'm not entirely sure. There we go. A simple wooden club. The simple bladeless strike weapon is effective against most foes, is easily handled, and can break the guard. However, a single miss makes one wide open. So timing and proximities are crucial. Okay, never mind. It's not really a lore club. I think it's a lore club because Havel's gear was here. Bishop Havel. So maybe that's it. I know that Havel has a bit of lore to him, that like he hates magic. He hates anything that's sorcery related. Which is certainly an interesting character in and of itself. There's a door there that we can't open, so let's take these stairs to the next level. However, you can jump off the side here and go straight to the final boss. Or not the final boss, but the final boss for this area. There's a few more rooms we need to explore. Another halberd guy. They're really easy to get when they do that move, but there's some moves that are just really confusing. Or really, really fast that you can't react to them in time. Oop, there's an item over there. Might as well grab it. Soul of a hero. I think the great soul of the hero is when the souls start looking really badass. And you go, man, that must have been a really awesome hero. This is also a mimic. We can 4 heavy shot these guys as well. So that's always pretty nice. He has a gold coin. Again, you can't even trade the gold coin, so I don't know if those coins are trolls or not. But who knows. Another mimic. But the whole point's, yeah, silver coins. I mean, Anor Londo is just, I guess it used to be a very rich area. One of which you would need to protect your stuff with maybe things such as mimics. Well, I would assume mimics are more of demons than something you would want to use to protect your gear. But maybe that's why the Lloyd's Talismans exist. Lloyd's Talismans exist so you could put the demon to sleep and open up your treasure. In case you need to look at it and make sure it was alright. I don't know. I'm just going off on random ideas that I've thought on my own, but that could be it. I mean, it doesn't sound that crazy, right? Maybe it does. Ow. Don't plan on dying, Mr. Silver Knight. So this is the route to the top of the area, which will allow us to switch staircases. If you notice that the staircase that we were on, it was a two-sided staircase, and the only way to get to the other side is by going up here, dealing with 2 of these Silver Knights. However, the Silver Knight across from the way is far enough away to not actually hit us. He is the shortest ranged longbowman of the fleet. Let's be honest here. He's really bad at long range attacks. You can only see... Maybe he needs glasses or something, because he can only see like 2 feet in front of him until he can start aiming. And by then, he might as well just have a sword out. However, this is now going to allow us to go the proper route to get to Ornstein and Smough. And we can fight this guy here. Now, the only reason you'd want to fight that guy is if you want Demon Titanite, which allows you to upgrade a small amount of really good weapons. Ow. That really hurt. I don't want to use any of my S's fast, however. I'd rather be using my heal on the way to a boss while exploring than using my S's fast, because I've said this before, but this kind of way of fighting... Come forth. This kind of way of fighting allows me to heal after combat or out of combat, and use the more important healing items during a more important fight. Which is particularly why I like heal and why I like spending points on a bit of faith. Alright, both of these are perfectly safe to open. One is hiding the Silver Knight boots and gloves, and this one's hiding the helmet and body gear. And now we have unlocked the door that we couldn't open originally, which is right next to the bonfire. So we can just go grab the bonfire, which is on the other side here, I believe. Am I right? Right, alright. So yeah, we'll just grab this bonfire, because why not? We'll level up as well. Get my extra attunement slot, because I need one. And now we can use that same shortcut to get to the boss. However, we don't have the great weapon or whatever, the great magic weapon. I probably should have grabbed that earlier, but hey, we're going to give Smough and Ornstein a try, see how much damage we do. Hopefully we do enough with Solaire, because we're definitely going to summon him. He makes the fight a little bit easier. Oh yeah, we can use this shortcut now. However, there is already a shortcut. Again, I already told you about it, but it's a staircase. You can just do a jump roll, but this is a lot easier. And you get some experience on the way. You get 1,000 experience. And you can ignore this guy over here. He is not even an issue. So we can climb up here, make a right turn, and get to the Smough and Ornstein boss fight. However, it is guarded by 2 very, very annoying statue things, which can, however, do a lot of damage. One of the reasons why I upgraded my weapon. Also, this is a shortcut over here, so I'm just going to activate it. And I'm pretty sure I'm invincible while I do this. That's a shortcut. And that is a giant troll. Or not troll, but giant statue. Let's go with troll, though. Alright, let's heal normally. Or not normally, but... You know what I mean by heal. 2... No, that didn't get him. And 3? 3 hits. So plus 15 longsword can 3 hit these guys. And these guys give Titanite chunks. However, they do respawn. So if for some odd reason you find these guys easy to kill, by all means go ahead and go nuts with them. Come forth. Now this guy shouldn't go all the way up the stairs. He should be backing off. There we go. I was gonna say, this is weird. This It's not backing off. There you go. That guy is now dealt with, and I will show you the new blacksmith you can get access to. I did tell you can buy large titanite shards for cheaper in the 2 episodes ago. And this is where you can do that. You can buy them for 200 souls cheaper. And let's be honest, when something costs a lot, you probably want to pay the cheapest amount for them. I like to pay the cheapest amount called free and go to the DLC area and farm these. But, however, if you are finding yourself with lost souls, you can go ahead and buy them.
Forge your weapons.
But first, I want to talk to this guy.
'Tis no good, but forge very good. I help anytime.
So yeah, he's not really much of a talker. However, you can have him repair your gear, such as the Drake's sword, which is almost broken. Might as well spend that points on there. Let's see here. Does anything else need repairing? Anything at all? Oh wait, that's what I meant to do. It doesn't seem like anything really needs repairs, but I guess I'll repair our gear. Anyway, that's all I was just showing you guys. You can buy large titanite shards from him. You can even buy twinkling titanite for 8,000 apiece. But there is a place where you can farm these as well, over by Seath the Scaleless. And you can buy giant shield, giant halberd, and you can buy some arrows here. Unfortunately, though, he doesn't sell the good arrows, which are known as poison arrows. He even sells the giant armor, which doesn't really make sense considering you are going to be normal size. And when you are normal size, you probably aren't going to need giant armor. But whatever. We will now head towards Ornstein and Smough. First, we will summon Solaire, because he did give us a hint. If you see my brilliant aura, you will be able to summon him. Right here. Join the Sunbro army. Now, I think you can only join the Sunbro army if you offer a whole bunch of humanity or something. I could be wrong, however. Whoa, 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 whoa. Solaire, come here. Nice, Solaire. You are a bamf. Oh, Solaire. Now he's hurt a little bit, and that was for naught, I guess. Wow, Solaire has a soul spear? Or lightning spear? That's interesting. I didn't realize he would. Ow. So yeah, this is when you probably don't want to use Solaire. Close one. Alright, Solaire. Being a bamf. Alright. By the way, you can actually have Solaire run through this entire map with you if you want, just like a normal co-op partner. But probably not the best idea. And you can't heal NPC avatars. But anyway, let's go do the Smough and Ornstein fight. We'll probably die, but let's give it a shot. So we are going to go for Smough first because I find Ornstein to be incredibly easier than when Smough has been overcharged and upgraded. So we will give that a shot. So our goal is mainly just to do as much damage as possible to Executioner Smough. While Knight Solaire distracts the other guy like a boss. These guys might be easier though, if well they would be probably maybe a little bit easier if we didn't have Solaire. However, it is 2 of them, so even with a fully upgraded weapon, it would be pretty hard without Solaire. But Solaire seems to be doing a very good job. So now, Ornstein has transformed and magically got all his health back. Well, I guess it was magic that he became large anyway, so... He has some pretty powerful attacks that are pretty easy to evade, so I prefer fighting him over Ornstein. Or, I prefer fighting him over Smough. Oh no, this is not good. That does a lot of damage. Pew! Ow, that really hurt. Yes! Keep distracting him, Solaire. I believe in you. If Solaire could stay alive for this entire fight, that would be most amazing, but I doubt it. Wow. Whoa! Solaire is scaring me, dude. Oh my god, uber concentration right now, guys. And come on. Yeah, first try, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we have beat him. And Solaire made it through the entire fight. Woo! And we got the Leo ring. Like total bamfs. We have triumphed this fight. See why I said the plus 15 longsword is really, really good? That just shut it off. Man, that was a good fight. I'm surprised I stayed human through the entire time. I said, hey, we could probably get through this all while being human. However, let's light the bonfire. Let's sit down at this bonfire, level up, and revel in our glory. That is Dark Souls, and get our vitality up to 15, because that might be a good idea to start leveling that up. Now let's go see what's beyond this door that these two were defending.
Thou hast journeyed far and overcome much, chosen undead. Come hither, child. O chosen undead, I am Guinevere, daughter of Lord Gwyn and Queen of Sunlight. Since the day Father his form did obscureth, I have awaited thee. I bequeath the Lordvessel to thee.
By the power of the Lordvessel, you may now warp between bonfires.
And beseech thee, succeed Lord Gwyn, and inheriteth the fire of our world. Thou shalt endeth this eternal twilight, and avert further undead sacrifices.
So now, we have succeeded in Anor Londo, ladies and gentlemen. And this has become possibly one of the greatest victories in our lives. And now it's our time to turn and kill the enemy.
Thou that tarnisheth the Godmother's image, I am Gwyndolin. And thy transgression shall not go unpunished. Thou shalt perish in the twilight of Anor Londo.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching, and in the next episode, we will now traverse the Twilight area of Anor Londo and kill the Four Kings. I'm Acabane101, and I will see you guys in the next episode.